Dear students, today we are going to learn the lesson An Epitome of Courage. So, please open page number 62 of your English textbook. Okay? Did you open page number 62? Okay. So, let us understand the meaning of the title at first. You know, the title is An Epitome of Courage. Two words are important in this title. The first word is epitome. What is the meaning of epitome? Epitome means the perfect example, fine example of something. And the title is An Epitome of Courage. And the meaning of the title is the perfect example of courage. The very fine example of courage. So this is the meaning of the title of this lesson. So under the title, in bracket, the first paragraph of the introduction to this lesson is given. So let's read and understand that paragraph first. It is only the introduction to this lesson. So pay attention to the first paragraph of introduction given in the bracket. We often tend to hide behind our weaknesses, disabilities, handicaps, or mourn over them our whole life through. Dr. Stephen Hawking, one of the greatest scientists of this century, did not do so. In spite of suffering from a very rare and dreaded disease, Dr. Hawking continued his research undaunted. His exemplary courage should inspire us to do our best even under trying circumstances. So, here is the paragraph that gives the short introduction to this lesson. So, first of all, let's understand the essence of this paragraph. So, in the first line of this paragraph, the writer tells us about the general tendency, about the general human tendency. So, what is the general human tendency? It is the general human tendency that we tend to hide ourselves behind weaknesses, disabilities, and handicaps. We need something to hide ourselves. And by that way, we refuse to accept challenges in our life. We do not come forward easily to accept big challenges. So we go on avoiding the challenges and we give different reasons for that. Reasons about our weaknesses, reasons about our disabilities, reasons about our handicaps, this or that. So we give so many reasons to refuse the challenges. Okay, so that's the general human tendency. But Dr. Stephen Hawking, who was Dr. Stephen Hawking here? He was one of the greatest scientists of this century. Dr. Stephen Hawking did not do so. He did not hide himself behind his weaknesses, behind his disabilities, behind his handicaps. In spite of suffering from a very rare and dreaded disease, Dr. Hawking continued his research undaunted. Means, Dr. Stephen Hawking was suffering from a very rare and dreaded means very fearful disease. He was suffering from a very rare disease and fearful disease, and still he did not hide himself behind that. He came forward in his life undaunted means fearlessly he came forward and he continued his research work fearlessly in his life, and he showed the exemplary courage. Here, exemplary means the fine example, worth of imitation and admirable. He showed admirable courage, and that courage should inspire us to do our best even under the trying circumstances. Trying circumstances means under the difficult circumstances. So, the life of Dr. Stephen Hawking should be an inspiration for us. We should take inspiration from the life of Dr. Stephen Hawking, who continued his research in spite of his rare and dreaded disease. So, this is the meaning of this first paragraph. So, from this first paragraph, tell me, what is the general human tendency? Yes, exactly. The general human tendency is to hide behind our weaknesses, disabilities, handicaps, and mourn over them, and to refuse our challenges. So, this is the general human tendency. Now, from the first paragraph of introduction, you can tell who is Dr. Stephen Hawking. Can you find out this answer? Dr. Stephen Hawking is one of the greatest scientists of this century. Okay. And what was he suffering from? The answer is, he was suffering from a very rare and dreaded disease. And in spite of his rare and dreaded disease, he continued his research fearlessly. He did not fear of his rare and dreaded disease, and he showed the exemplary courage, and we should take great inspiration from the life of Dr. Stephen Hawking. So, did you understand the meaning of the first paragraph? Dear students, now let's look into the first paragraph of this lesson. So, on the same page, page number 62, look into the first paragraph of this lesson. I am going to read that paragraph for you. Pay attention to it. Exactly 300 years after the death of the great scientist Galileo, Dr. Stephen Hawking was born in Oxford, London on the 8th day of January 1942. Little did his parents know that one day their little boy would be hailed as one of the greatest scientists of this century. Neither could anybody imagine that his mind would soar up into space like light. More importantly, none could predict that he would be the very epitome of the courage. So, did you listen to the paragraph well? So, what did we get from this paragraph? So, first of all, we know when and where Dr. Stephen Hawking was born. So, can you tell me, when was Dr. Stephen Hawking born? Find out the answer from the same paragraph. When was Dr. Stephen Hawking was born? Yes, exactly. Dr. Stephen Hawking was born on the 8th day of January 1942. Now another question, another simple question for you. Where was Dr. Stephen Hawking born? You can find out the answer from the same paragraph. Yes, the answer is Dr. Stephen Hawking was born in Oxford, London. Yes, you have answered both the questions very well. Now tell me one thing more. Did his parents know that their little child would become one of the greatest scientists of this century? No, his parents did not know that their little boy would become one of the greatest scientists of this century. And no one could imagine that he would become the very epitome of courage. Okay. Now one another question for you. Can you name the greatest scientist 300 years before Hawking? Who was the greatest scientist 300 years before Hawking? Yes, exactly. He was Galileo. The name of that scientist was Galileo. And after the death of the great scientist Galileo, exactly 300 years after the death of the great scientist Galileo, Dr. Stephen Hawking was born. Okay? So, this is the meaning of the first paragraph. So let's look into the second paragraph. Pay attention to the second paragraph. Courage is a wonderful thing. It is that quality which makes people not lose heart when faced with a great calamity. It would not be an exaggeration to say that Dr. Stephen Hawking, a living legend of cosmology, is the very personification of courage and hope. Except his mind, his whole body is bound to a wheelchair, thanks to cruel quirk of fate. Yet, he is one of the greatest scientists of this century. So, did you listen to this paragraph? Now, from this paragraph, we have to find out some answers again. So, in this paragraph, the definition, the meaning of courage is given. Find out that meaning of courage. What is courage? We have to find out the answer from the same second paragraph. Yes, courage is the quality which makes people not lose heart when faced with a great calamity. So this is the meaning and definition of courage. And we came to know one new word here, cosmology. What is the meaning of cosmology? Cosmology is the study of origin and development of the universe. Study of origin and development of the universe means cosmology. And who was a living legend of cosmology? Dr. Stephen Hawking was a living legend of cosmology. Legend means a very great personality in the field of cosmology. And he is the very personification of courage and hope. Who is the very personification and courage of hope? Yes, Dr. Stephen Hawking himself is the very personification of courage and hope. His whole body is bound to a wheelchair. His whole body is bound to a wheelchair, that means he was unable to move his body. Only his mind was moving. Only his mind was free to move. His body could not move because his body was bound to a wheelchair. And that's the cruel quirk of fate. Quirk of fate here means the unexpected change of destiny. So this was the unexpected change of destiny in his life, and this was a very cruel change for him, that his body was bound to the wheelchair. He can move only his mind. His mind is free to move. Yet, and in spite of this situation, he became one of the greatest scientists of this century. So here lies the greatness of Dr. Stephen Hawking. You know, he was bound to a wheelchair. He could not move his body. And even then, he became one of the greatest scientists of this century. Can't you imagine? Okay. Dear students, now let's look into the next part of this lesson. So, the next paragraph, pay attention to that paragraph. An average child, Stephen grew up to be a normal teenager, full of mischief and lots of love for music and mathematics. Even though his father wanted him to study medicine, he was bent on studying mathematics. The University of Oxford at that time did not have a course in mathematics, so he opted to study physics instead. So, did you pay attention to the paragraph well? Now, from this paragraph, you can tell me some simple answers to the questions. So, first of all, tell me, how was Dr. Stephen Hawking as an average child? Yes, as an average child, Dr. Stephen Hawking was a normal teenager. He was not suffering from any disease when he was a child. Another question for you is, what did he love when he was a child? Yes, when he was a child, he loved music and mathematics. He loved music and mathematics. But what was the desire of his father? What did his father want him to study further? Yes, his father wanted him to study medicine. But Dr. Stephen Hawking had to study mathematics. And where did his father send him to study mathematics? His father sent him to the University of Oxford at that time. But that university did not have a course in mathematics, and so Dr. Stephen had to choose the physics instead of mathematics. Okay, did you get it? Now the next paragraph. At the age of 17, Stephen started noticing that he was becoming increasingly clumsy and even fell down a couple of times for no reason. This perplexed him, and he went to see his family doctor, who diagnosed him as suffering from an extremely rare disease, ALS or LOU Gehrig's disease, that affects the nervous system, eventually weakens all the muscles of the body. Stephen says that even as a child, his muscle coordination was nothing to write home about. He recollects that his handwriting would send his teacher into a fit of frenzy. Nor was he inclined towards sports. Nevertheless, this disease came as a bolt from the blue. Okay. Now, let's look into the meaning of this paragraph. So, what happened in the life of Dr. Stephen Hawking when he was 17 years old? Yes, when he was 17 years old, he started noticing that he was becoming increasingly clumsy and even fell down a couple of times without any reason. Clumsy means awkward and incompetent. He noticed that he was becoming incompetent and awkward. And he again noticed that he fell down a couple of times without any reason. Okay. And this thing confused him. Perplexed means confused. This thing confused him, and that's why he went to his family doctor. And what did his family doctor diagnose? His family doctor diagnosed him as suffering from an extremely rare disease, and the name of that disease was ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease that affects the nervous system and eventually weakens all the muscles of the body. Okay, so Stephen says, now from the same paragraph, tell me some answers again. So, how was his handwriting? From this paragraph, we came to know that Dr. Stephen's handwriting was not so good. He recollects, means he remembers, that after looking at his handwriting, his teacher would go into a fit of frenzy. Means his teacher would get very angry at him after looking at his handwriting. That means his handwriting was not so good. And was he interested in the field of sports? Was he interested in field of sports? No. He was not inclined towards sports. That means he was not interested in sports. But this disease came as a bolt from the blue for him. A bolt from the blue means a sudden unexpected shock. So this disease was a very sudden and unexpected shock for Dr. Stephen Hawking. Okay, did you get the meaning of this paragraph? Okay, now next part of the lesson will let us study the next part of the lesson in the next video. Okay, till then